Welcome to Heart Talks. The purpose and intention for these talks is to inspire, empower, and to bring a higher perspective and community awareness with topics not only in real estate, but also in finance, relationships, wellness, and spirituality. So get ready and enjoy as we share our next episode on Heart Talk. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Heart Talks and Happy New Year. Here we are in the new year, and we're excited because we're bringing new episodes to our community to bring awareness, inspiration, motivation, and information. But today I'm excited because we have a special guest. She is a friend, she's a financial strategist, a real estate extraordinaire, a beautiful, beautiful soul. And I would like for you to help me welcome Julie Valenzuela.
Thank you for the introduction.
Yeah. So Julie, you and I met, I would say, I think it was like in 2018, 2019.
Yes, I was at a very different point of my life.
But you know, the first time I talked to you, there was a certain connection about you and me, and I knew that you were going through your journey, I was going through mine, and we were both here at REMAX working as realtors. Mm-hmm. And instantly I found that connection with you. And I think we had for our first introduction, we were talking about many different things and about our spiritual background and
Definitely a connection.
Definitely a connection. Yeah. But today here we're going to learn a little bit about you, a little bit about maybe what you'd like to share of your journey, your personal journey, the business, and all the beautiful things that you have been experiencing and growth. You've just been experiencing a lot of healing, a lot of growth.
Yes, I have.
Yes. So for our viewers here, let's start from the beginning. Let's just if you can share a little bit about yourself, and we can go from there.
Okay. Well, as far as real estate, I mean, I've been in real estate for about 20 years. Mm-hmm. Started out in the processing side, went to escrow. Short sales, TC. I kind of have done it all.
Right.
But I end up landing and wanting to be more like on the front side with the real estate side.
Real estate. Yeah. And you're a mom.
Yes, I am. My son is 30. My daughter's 26. I have a grandson that's 6. And then I'm actually going to have another grandchild.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm so excited. They don't know what it is yet, but I'm super, super excited because I want a granddaughter. So.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we're going to put that out there, granddaughter. And if not, just healthy, beautiful. Yeah, of course.
But,
yeah.
I'm just like, I want because I have my Hudson, love him to death. But I'm like, okay, I want someone to play Barbies with.
That's beautiful. Well, and in your journey, I know we were talking a little bit about your growth. So you started to focus more on real estate. I think it was the last few years. And recently you've made a shift.
Yes, made a shift to financial services. Mm-hmm. I found that, a lot of people just work and aren't securing what they're working for. Mm-hmm. And I think that, especially for us being entrepreneurs, we don't have that. And I just have noticed that there's just a lack of education on that part. And then I even saw it more so when my dad was passing, because even though he had like a small life insurance policy, mm-hmm. but there was just so many different things that could have been prevented as far as, and I don't even like to say that, kind of being a burden on the family.
Right.
Mm-hmm. with having certain things in place that I was just like, when the opportunity was presented and I was like, I'm going to get my license, because mm-hmm. I just find that, even with real estate, I deal with a lot of probate properties.
Yes.
And that can be alleviated, from having just a living trust and a will. We have no retirement. When we're getting to the end of our life, if you don't have living benefits to help you, mm-hmm. My dad had a really small policy, and I just think to myself, like, they're just, and they made great money. I mean, he even retired,
right.
Having, a good chunk of income. And as I'm learning these products, I'm just like, if my parents weren't in that type of predicament, how many other people are?
That's true. And, most of us don't think about that until that day, until the day comes, right? Or we get close to that.
Exactly. And what people don't understand is that like a policy like that later on in life costs a lot of money. But if you start preparing for it early on, those benefits are there for you and it's not costing as much. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's like right now, like I'm kind of dealing with it with my mom now, so I'm just like, okay, like putting her in a policy is going to cost a lot.
Yeah, yeah, and I love how you're sharing. I mean, so for those of you who don't know, Julie is a financial strategist with TFA.
Correct.
And you recently launched that, and you're still in real estate, but this is something that you've decided to bring through as a passion and also through a personal experience that you're going through with your own parents.
Correct. Yes, because you figure, all these homeowners, you know what I mean? Do they have mortgage protection on their house if something would happen to them? A stroke, cancer, anything,
Right.
I feel that, our society isn't set up to educate us through this.
Yeah.
So for the fact that we have this available, I find it, and I'm very passionate about, educating people on it, so they can start thinking about it. Because, like you said, I mean, we don't know if we're going to get cancer. What if we have a heart attack?
Right.
What if something, transpire? And, you don't want to lose it all because we don't have to.
Right. And I love how you're sharing this, not just because it was a job opportunity, but it's coming more from a passion, more from something that you experienced personally. And that's why I'm excited that you're here today, because I feel it's very important to bring that awareness to our community. And the more we speak about it, the more people can learn about it and learn about the options that are out there. And even if it's just for information, it's about having that security or that peace of mind.
Yes.
Or just, getting your questions asked, answered. If you don't know, just getting some type of guidance. So I love how you stepped into that this year, and you're growing and just bringing the awareness to our community.
Yeah, I think it's very important. It's just like, to me, like financial services goes hand in hand with real estate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because people feel that, real estate's the biggest asset that they invest in. But it's like, no, it's you. So it's like, do you want to leave the burden to your family? Do you want to work all these years and not have anything to show or to, have a security in the end?
Right.
And I just think it's very important. I just see a lack
Yes.
of it.
Yes.
And especially in entrepreneurship, so that's why I want to bring that awareness to, the community.
Yeah, and I think the question is that when people reach out and someone's saying, hey, what does your will look like? Or do you have a living trust? Or what's your life insurance? When I believe, and I'm just speaking for myself here in my own experiences, sometimes when people ask you that question, we kind of shy away from that.
Because it's a hard conversation.
It is a very hard conversation.
It's a hard conversation, but it's a very real conversation, because it's like, you can't just always be focused on the now. You have to secure your future.
Absolutely.
It's like, we don't work all these years to have nothing. And then it's like, people work for companies to where a lot of these products are outdated and they don't even know that they're not even utilizing the max benefits that they can within, maybe, rolling it over to something else.
Yes.
Something better. But, a lot of people will just stick to it because that's what their job offers. And then that's it.
Oh, we'll worry about it later, or someday, or tomorrow, and that tomorrow never comes.
Yes, and I could tell you this, because when my dad was diagnosed with lung cancer, I mean, it took him in 5 months, but caring for him was super hard.
Wow.
It really was. So it's like, now with my mom, I'm like, okay, we're not dealing with this time around. And then I look for my life. It's like, I don't want to leave that to my children.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. And I know you're speaking from your own personal experience, your own pain, what you observed in your family, and now just bringing that forward in such a inspiring way to our community with awareness. And And is it something that is feasible? Because I think a lot of people think, well, I can't afford that. I can't afford a living trust, or a life insurance might be too costly. But once again, that's a false belief, right?
It's a
Yes.
false belief. But
Yes.
it's like, like when people are scared to get pre-called because they're not sure what they're going to qualify for. It's the same thing with insurance. It's like, just get a quote.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It doesn't hurt, right?
It doesn't hurt.
Free.
It's free.
It's free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just get a quote, and then just to see, what it's going to cost, and see what's going to implement it. And it's just, there's just a lot of good products that people just don't know about.
And protection, because I know a living trust, just even if it's just something, we'll say simple, but it's not simple, living trust.
No.
Just to protect your family.
Yeah, because I do several probate transactions a year, and it just breaks my heart how money just can come between family.
Oh, yeah. Money
know?
changes people, and it could, yes.
And I'm just like, it could literally be alleviated, like less than $2,000.
Wow. Just to bring peace of mind and to the family.
The court costs alone.
Yeah.
Some of my clients are like, I don't even want to email the probate attorney, because it's you know what I mean? It's just, it keeps tallying up. Exactly. And it's a long process too. Probate, it's not something that just happens overnight. Right. It takes months and months and months.
And also when you're grieving or you're going through that, we'll say that experience, a loss of a family, or just going through those hard times, you're not really focused or in the right place, we'll say, to really make those decisions. Sometimes we'll make them, not in the best conscious way, because of what we're going through. So to have that and do that ahead of time, we're able to have clarity, a clear mind to do that as well.
Absolutely.
I know when I did my living trust, what it brought to me, and I just want to share my experience, because I thought, okay, I'm going to do my living trust. I have my kids. I want to have peace of mind. But one thing that I realized when I did my living trust was, when you see your liabilities and your assets and you're going through checking everything off on there, it brings a certain awareness of where you're at. Like, truly.
Absolutely.
Like, okay, these are your assets, these are your liabilities, and questions about, what are your wishes, and just in case, these are the hard questions you have to answer. But what it did for me, it really brought a perspective like, wow, this is where I'm at.
Another thing that people lack education on is updating their living trust.
Yeah, that's true.
Because that's another issue that I see too. That people just, they put it in place and leave it, and they accumulate more assets and things that should be, accommodated within it, but then they're left out. So then that's a whole nother issue.
Yeah.
So it's like, when people get a living trust, it's like the person that they're working with needs to stay in contact with them, let them know, hey, every 3-5 years, did you buy anything else? Is there anything else that you need?
That's true.
Things you want to take out?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People maybe you don't want in there anymore. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's like another thing. It's very important to always, be updating it, every so often.
And even if someone already has a living trust, like, would they be able to have it reviewed by TFA?
Yeah.
And just see if they have everything covered, or it may be any insights or suggestions, recommendations you guys might be able to make.
Well, yeah. I would say that it's the same thing with following up with a past client. Are you still on that loan?
Right, exactly. The interest rates have dropped, right? Yeah, you got some equity in there. Yeah, exactly.
It'd be the same thing.
Oh,
just
beautiful.
Following up with them,
That's
just
a great analogy.
Fine tune, the products that they're in.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Well, and I just wanted to, I know, we're talking about what you're doing now, but going back to something that you felt very grateful for. I know we just completed 2023. I know you've, experienced a lot the last couple of years. You shared about your dad, but maybe an experience, a lesson, or something that you said, man, I'm really grateful for this, that has grown you and has brought you here today to speak about all this, to step into this in your power and really share with everyone.
Honestly, it's me getting baptized. That, me getting baptized and really diving into my church and Bible study has helped me out tremendously. Because before then, I was just lost. I was in my masculine energy all the time.
Yeah.
I wore my emotion, and it wasn't good. And it's funny because when I got baptized, like I would pass by the church so many times, and my church, I mean, that's like my home.
Yes.
It's like I spent years kind of trying to find my home. And I remember like it was like one Sunday, it was like, I don't know, like 10:15, 10:30. And I like passed by. I'm like, why don't I go to this church? It's
Wow.
so close to my
The
house.
signs were there.
Yeah. And I looked, I'm like, oh, they have a service at 11 o'clock. So I go in, and the message was, I felt like it was
pulling
just,
you,
yes,
pulling
it
you.
was just for me. And like
Wow.
at the end, like they like, if you guys want to give yourself to the Lord or recommit to the Lord, this, and this, come down, we'll pray for you. We'll give you a Bible. Well, like it was just nudging at me to go, just to go down, go down, go down. And I listened. And that was probably the best decision for me, because I was supposed to get baptized the day that my dad died.
Wow.
And obviously I couldn't. So I waited 2 weeks after then. And since then, and really diving into the word, really getting into like the Bible studies and stuff, it has just been transforming to my life. It's like it weeded out who didn't belong, and it has brought in the people who are supposed to be.
Wow.
And I would just say that, like, even though my life isn't perfect, I'm definitely at peace. I've learned to surrender. I've learned to know that I'm not completely in control, and just allow what's supposed to be there. And since I've done that, I have been given this peace over me that like no other, that nothing can ever take away from me.
Yeah.
So I would say, yeah,
that has been the biggest blessing.
That has been the biggest blessing.
Yeah. And, as you're sharing this, I could see your face, you're smiling, you're glowing. And like I said, I've known you, I think the past 4 years, 5 years, and I've seen some of the changes that we have both have gone through, and my background as well. But truly, as you're sitting here in front of me, I do see you grounded, because I think the last time we had a conversation, it was when you had, lost your dad, and I had looked at you and I said, Julie, is everything okay? Are you doing okay? And I know it was a hard time for you, but you are a testament here that, the religion, the choice that you made.
Yes.
And it's more, I feel like it's more than just the religion. Right.
It's
exactly.
the relationship.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like you can just take religion out of it. It's the relationship
yes.
that you chose.
Yes.
But I would say more so the surrender.
That's beautiful right there.
That's what it is.
That's what it
when
was.
I learned how to completely surrender is when my life completely changed. Because I wasn't trying to control. I wasn't trying to hold on.
And trying to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just sometimes I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to figure this out, but I will. It will get done. Like the answer will come. I'll pray about it. You know what I mean? But I'm just like, I'll go to sleep and I'll let God work it out.
Yes. And it's that faith.
That's what I tell myself.
Yeah. That faith, that grounding, that faith, that your anchor. I almost feel like it's that anchor and that trust. The trust, because we could pray and open up. But if we really don't believe, in faith, I believe is what I'm hearing here, but it's deeper than faith. It's more of trusting that this higher power is going to remove those or that no longer serves you, and it's going to open you up to the miracles and the light and all the beautiful things that are there for you.
Yes. And it has, like, I would say this past year, because let's see, it was last November when I did the walk, and I think it was December 18th when I got baptized. So since then, from now, it's like my life has completely turned around, and I'm a completely different person.
Well, I could see it right here. Yeah, you're glowing. You're showing up differently. Just your presence. Yeah. Your presence. And I'm not just saying that because we're here talking, being recorded.
Because they tell me, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, I've always been known to be very rough on the edges, and it's just like, it's not there as much. I'm sure it's still there somewhat, but like not like,
Well, I mean, we all have some growing to do. And like I was saying, 2024, I feel is really the year of growth and expansion. And what I really felt, through my own experience was to go deeper in our roots and deeper in our faith, deeper in what we believe in, but not just for ourselves, but to use platforms like this to bring awareness and to bring knowledge and education such as what you're doing right now with TFA, just allowing yourself to step into that place to be the voice maybe for others or people that don't know. They just don't know how to do something.
Yes.
But you're here to guide them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And through your own experience. It's not like, oh, I just got this job. No, because you went through it.
I went through it to where I was like, okay, there could have been different options. Like this all could have played out completely differently. But because of the lack of, this is what happened. You know what I mean? So now I'm like, okay, like things don't need to be this way.
Exactly.
So it's not just for me, but just for anybody else. And, people just they don't think about it.
Yeah.
But we have to. We got to think about how we're going to secure our retirement.
Yes. That's a reality. It's a reality. I mean, we could ignore it, but it's not going to serve us.
No, it's definitely not going to serve us. So so I'm really excited about it. I mean, obviously, even doing this is out of my comfort zone. Like I've always been a very quiet, reserved, introverted type person. You know what I mean? But it's like I feel like I'm ready.
Yeah.
To like come out of
You're
my
stepping
come out of my shell and shine.
In 2024, I mean, that's amazing. And so I know you talked a lot about your growth and stepping into TFA and then aligning that with the real estate business.
It goes hand in hand.
Definitely.
It definitely does, because you figure all my past clients, like they have retirement, they have jobs, they have families, they have kids. You know what I mean? They can utilize it. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just kind of meshing them both together.
Yeah. And, I feel you really believe in what you're doing.
Yes.
The message you're delivering, it's not, oh, I just want to sell you this. No, you're really believing, once again, because you have experienced it, you're able to hold that sacred space for someone that is going through that, because, you can relate to that. And you can also be their guide, not just with the knowledge, but also in that it's very emotional. It's a very emotional process.
And it's like when you're talking to somebody about it, like you get them thinking, because they're just like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm gonna live forever. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, people just don't think about it. And I just feel like just where our world is going to, it's like we have an obligation to secure ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Can you say that again?
We have an obligation to secure ourselves. Absolutely, yes.
With ease and grace. With ease and grace.
Yes.
So let's talk about the visions that you have for yourself and maybe for TFA, stepping into that for 2024. What are the seeds that you're looking to plant going forward?
Definitely a lot of knowledge. I want to, I will. Social media is just a free platform that we have to use, and everybody's on it.
Yes.
And so I want to utilize it just, to educate people. Obviously, growing the team.
Yes.
Giving people, they don't just have to focus just on one thing. You can, I think anybody can utilize this. You own a gym, there's people there, they need this.
Right.
You know what I mean? You could literally sell policies and, work a full-time job.
Absolutely.
So growing it just so we can educate the community as well. So that's, basically what I want to focus on this year. Yeah, so just putting myself out there more, educating people, and then growing the team.
Beautiful. And as far as for your own transformational journey, your own growing, because there's many pieces to the puzzle, right? But of course, like for yourself, obviously you're already on your journey, your spiritual journey, your faith, your grounding, and we can see this here, in front of us. Sometimes we don't have to say anything. We could just walk into the room and people feel your presence, which I'm feeling it right here. But, what are your plans for yourself as a person? Yes.
I want to go and experience and get out and just live life, spend time with my family, create better bonds with people. I feel that I've steered away from that. I feel like before my healing and then during my healing, I was very secluded within myself a lot, so it's like now, and I kind of had to figure things out, there was a purpose for it.
Yeah.
But now that I found it, You know what
Yes.
I mean? Like I want to have better connections and relationships with other people as
Just
well.
going deeper with
Family,
relationships.
you know what I mean? Colleagues, anything.
I just love that. I
Yeah.
love your transformation. I love the shifts that you're doing. I love the presence and everything that you're about. And you're showing up for yourself.
Yes.
You're giving yourself that love. And I think that's where it starts is when
Absolutely. When you learn how to love yourself, things completely change.
exactly. And you know, it sounds so easy, but it's not.
It's not.
And you know, sometimes we have to go through that journey and through that place that might not be, it gets a little messy, but we come through it, and that's the courage in you, and you know, you being persistent and wanting to come out of that. And not only that, but showing up in a way that you're going to be able to serve others through business, through yourself, for your children, for your grandchildren, and for your family.
Because it has to come from you.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like if you don't take care of yourself, like how are you gonna do
Exactly.
everything else?
Yeah.
Like it's gonna bleed through anything.
Yeah. And Julie, thank you. Thank you. We definitely see the shift in this transformation. I know we're going to see you more on social media, and you're just starting, beginning, and you know, many beautiful visions and manifestations you're creating in 2024. What message you'd like to leave our viewers here? Something you'd like to share with them, with a personal business, whatever comes through your heart. What would you like to say to anyone that's watching this right now?
That love is the answer to anything. You gotta love what you do. You gotta love who you are. You gotta love the people around you. Love is the answer.
Love is the answer.
It
Beautiful.
is to anything.
Beautiful. And if they'd like to reach out to you and learn more about what you're doing, what you're up to with TFA as a realtor.
Yeah, well, on Instagram, TFA Champions. Real estate, it's Real Estate Junkie.
I love that.
My personal is Jules Valenzuela. Yeah, that's me.
That's you. Anything else you'd like to say before we leave? Not forever, but I'm sure we'll be talking more on future podcasts. There's a lot to share, but anything you'd like to leave us with? One thought.
Just follow your heart.
Follow your heart.
Listen
Beautiful.
to yourself. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Julie, for saying yes, for showing up for yourself, and just, you know, coming out and shining your beautiful, bright light.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.